Steven from Go Radio.
It's like your third week of the tour. How's it been so far?
This tour has been amazing so far. It's better than we expected. We did our other headline tour we did was like a year ago, and it was in a bunch of D markets. And this was our first A market headline tour, so it was a little nerve-wracking, hitting all like the big cities and stuff, and not knowing what to expect because we've been to the big cities, but it's always been with bigger bands as support. So it's been great. All the fans have been awesome and very welcoming and super interactive. It's been great.
What show are you looking forward to most on this tour?
Tallahassee, because we haven't played. That's our hometown, and we haven't played there in over a year.
Is there anything you're doing on this tour that's unique that you haven't done on any other tours?
Yeah, play a really long set. It's really hard to do. Going from playing like 25 minutes or 30 minutes a night to playing an hour and 10 minutes.
Since you guys were here last year, how do you think you've changed as a band in the past year?
I don't know. I really can't say because it doesn't seem like it's been that long. I guess it doesn't seem like that because we've been on the road so much, and we've been in the studio and we've been busy that time really flies. So like when you're like, yeah, it was a year ago, I'm like, it feels like it was like maybe like 6 months tops. But I think we're definitely a tighter band. We've been touring a lot, and just I feel like we're the same band for the most part.
That's good.
Same humble dudes.
You guys did Warped Tour this summer, and then you just recently did South by Southwest.
Yes.
How do those compare? Which ones did you like?
They are the complete opposite of each other. South by Southwest was awesome because there's so much different kind of music. Like Warped Tour, there is different music, but really it's kind of all like the same kind of style in a sense, like of this scene or whatever you want to call it. Where South by Southwest was like rap artists. There was like just everything going on.
Yeah.
And if you had like certain passes, you could go and see whatever you wanted. There was a lot of bigger artists that you would never see on Warped Tour and stuff like that, playing like secret shows and stuff like that. But I mean, that was great and it was fun and all, but Warped Tour was the opposite in the sense it was hot and nasty and it was, just miserable, but at the same time you made so many friends with bands because there was every night the same bands. So you made new friends. So it was like a big summer camp.
Yeah. Who were some artists and bands that inspired you when you were growing up?
That's really easy actually. What inspired me to start playing drums was the band No Doubt. And when I was 15, No Doubt played the MTV Spring Break thing. And I remember watching going, what band is this? I've never heard this band before. This is amazing. And I just got into it and just kind of just went from there. So that's definitely my number one inspiration for music.
So you guys just finished your new album.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think fans can expect from that?
It's definitely it's different than Lucky Street, but not like, oh, we went in trying to be different. We went in with Lucky Street. We loved that record because it was like we recorded it and we got it done, and we did what we wanted to do with it, and we wanted to write like a super rock record, and I think that's what we got out of it. But with this new record, we really went a little more like melodic with it. A lot of like the melodies are a little more like it's one of those records that we feel the way I could describe it is that Jimmy World had the Clarity record, and then they had Bleed American, which is totally different than Clarity, but there was like Clarity wasn't as polished as Bleed American, and so Bleed American did really well because it was much more polished, much more refined, that a broader audience grabbed onto. And we really feel like this is like our Bleed American record. It's like polished enough that we love how it sounds. It's us wholeheartedly. We put everything we did. We put everything we could into this record, but we wanted to make sure that we could grasp a broader audience as well, because with Lucky Street it is a little bit like lyrically there's a lot going on, and some people may have like not have a hard time grasping onto it, but it's a little kind of intimate and kind of deep for some people that don't want to really hear that kind of certain person stuff. So it's definitely a different record, but we're really excited about it.
Okay, these are the more casual questions.
Casual. Cool. What's up?
If you could pick any 3 bands to tour with, who would they be?
As of right now, no doubt, obviously,
Yeah.
favorite tour. I would love to go. I'd love to tour with Foo Fighters. Jesus, there's so many good bands. I mean, Jimmy Eat World would be awesome to tour with. I don't know. That's a really tough question. There's so many awesome bands,
I know.
especially ones that don't tour anymore.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, we could pull any band, you know.
Okay. Maybe this one's easier. What is the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've ever seen is just like to never give up. It's just like chase your dream, do what you want, because you know life is short. It's like if I wouldn't have chased my dream, if I wouldn't have just done what I've wanted to do from the beginning, you know, I have a lot of friends that weren't lucky enough to maybe have like a supportive of a family as mine was with the music, you know, where most of my friends, their parents are like, it's not working, it's time to get a job, you know what I mean? It's like, but at the same time, it's like, you know, maybe it's not working yet, you know,
Yeah.
and so I've always chased my dream, and I was done it, and that's what has brought me here to this point. And without that, you know, without going by that advice, I wouldn't be here. I might be working a day job, 9 to 5 somewhere else, you know, who knows?
Okay. You could have a song play every time you walk into a room, what would it be?
God, could it be the Hunger Games book? I'm listening to the Hunger Games on.
It's a good book.
I'm listening to it on audiobook, and I can't stop listening to it. It's like every day I get up. Like today, I was like, I gotta drive. I was like,
Are you on the first one?
I've seen the movie, but I wanted to hear the book.
Yeah, the book's so much better.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But I woke up and was like, oh, I don't want to. Well, I guess I could listen to Hunger Games.
These are fan questions. What is the one thing you miss the most from home when you're on tour?
My bed. It's tough because like we sleep in these back here, and they are beds, but they're small, they're pretty shallow. So when you turn over, like your arm falls out. It's constantly bumping up and down from driving. But so when I was like last night when we drove home for the day off, and I slept in my own bed. It was just like
That's nice.
sleeping on a cloud. It was amazing.
If you could morph into any animal, what would it be?
A wolf. Oh.
And what is the meaning behind the name Go Radio?
There really isn't much of a meaning behind it. I mean, there is a little bit. What it is when Jason left his old band, we had a friend in a band called Soul Shipper, and he did an interview once that Jason overheard, and it was like, they're like, why do you play music? And he's like, well, I'm tired of hearing what's on the radio. So it's just an overwhelming amount of crap on the radio, and so I think Jason took from that to like go radio with what he wanted to do. And so what he wanted to do was, he was like, there's so much crap music on the radio, and he was like, and kind of took that interview and was like, oh yeah, I like that, and so he came up with Go Radio, and it was kind of a side project he had while he was in his band before, and then when he left and decided to come back to start music, he's like, you know, hey, this is Steve from Go Radio, and you're watching Stereo Sound Media.
Except for you.